Hi guys, welcome to the show. I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And here are the goods. So, box office.
Right.
I couldn't believe it, and it edged it out. But Alien Covenant beat Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wow.
By $1 million.
Barely
beating. Guardians had a good chance to get through it, but I think NBA playoffs could have been something.
I was gonna give them till Wonder Woman. I didn't think they were gonna get beaten the first week of Alien. Wow.
Well, I was actually expecting Memorial Day to knock it out.
Okay.
With Baywatch and Pirates, which we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, so Aliens actually beat it, grossing $36 million. Now that is below the $51 million that Prometheus gross when it came out in 2012, but it was good enough for number one. Guardians of the Galaxy number two.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess maybe everybody who'd already seen Guardians, they decided they were going to go see Alien Covenant because it was an anticipated movie. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll actually be doing a spoiler review for Aliens Covenant. It will be, like I said, spoiler. No. So if you've never seen it, don't watch that one when we do it.
Don't watch it.
Don't even watch it. Number three, Everything, which is basically Girl in a Plastic Bubble.
I didn't even see a trailer for this movie.
Yes, and but
nobody saw.
But apparently, it's actually a novel. So
okay.
So if you like things, something like Fault in Our Stars and that kind of thing,
more tween movies.
Yeah, more tween movies. Everything grossed $10 million. 10 million. Forget it. All right, $10 million. $10 million. Number four, Snatched. Got number four. Still in there. Schumer's hanging in by a thread.
I mean, the only person they had to pay was Amy Schumer.
Pretty much.
As long as they made her salary, they make money.
$7.6 million. Still getting mixed reviews, but if you're a fan of Amy Schumer, give it a shot.
My whole thing is that Goldie Hawn looks so old in that movie.
She's in her 70s.
I know, but she's always been like hot, and now she's old.
Warm.
She's cold. It's not even warm. She's cold now.
All right, number five, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, $7.2 million. I can't believe they're still making this movie. Even with Alicia Silverstone. Okay, fine, but
second week in top five. I thought it'd be done already. Second week in the top five. Hey, I had to go see Alicia Silverstone unless she starts looking like Goldie Hawn.
Yeah. Yeah, she's cold too.
Oh,
she's cold too. Anyway, so that's the top five for this previous box office, and now we're gonna get ready for really the kickoff of summer. Now, usually it's the Marvel movies that are kicking off summer. Like last year was Civil War, this year's Guardians, and all that. But actually, it's Memorial Day weekend that really does kick off the summer season.
And Baywatch is our kickoff one?
And we got Baywatch and Pirates of the Caribbean 5.
Oh, nobody's gonna, my prediction now, nobody's gonna see Pirates of the Caribbean. That movie's gonna flop so bad.
Right now, the Rotten Tomatoes for Baywatch is 10%.
What?
It is that bad. Hotness but lacks fun of 21 Jump Street. Is this potentially The Rock's first bomb?
Man, wow.
Was that still Doom?
That wasn't his movie.
Let's say
that's not
Doom. It was him and Carl Urban.
I was gonna say it was Carl Urban's movie. Okay, that's
fine.
Carl Urban's bomb. That's not The Rock's bomb.
Is this Dwayne Johnson's first bomb?
I would have to say. I mean, he is because he was what's bringing people to it over Zac Efron. I mean, people come to see. Some people come to see Zac Efron, but really they're coming to see The Rock. And I mean, would you say Hercules was this? No, because that ended up making money. It made money overseas. So this is going to be it. Maybe people will go out and see it. Like some people went out and saw. I would say Starsky and Hutch. Chips.
Well, you know what's funny, and it's funny that you mentioned that because now this movie is really targeted for our kind of like it's like getting into that raunchy R-rated type.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
And they're actually saying there are some critics out there saying that it lacks what 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street, and even Chips. What that brought to the table, it lacks even that, which is hard to imagine considering you give The Rock a freaking R rating in a comedy.
How?
That's gold.
It looks so
funny in gold, but as of right now, it's very low in Rotten Tomatoes. It's being released in 3,400 theaters. So we'll have to wait and see if that does any good. Right now, currently for Pirates of the Caribbean 5, which is also, just like you said, really on the fence of being crap. It's not going to be...
It's on the fence of being crap.
It's not going to be Fast
Hanging
5.
right over the crap.
It's not going to be Fast 5. It's going to be, really suspect on whether or not it's going to do anything.
Right.
Memorial Day weekend is probably going to help it a little bit because of 4 days.
Yeah.
And it's a freaking Disney title.
Yeah.
But then you look at Johnny Depp's track record right now.
I think the fan base is done with this franchise.
Me too.
I mean, we're way too many sequels in it, and I was like, his impersonation, his little, Jack Sparrow interpretation was really cool and fun, but I'm tired of seeing it already. I'm so tired of seeing it.
I think he's reaching for the well, because when you got movies like Transcendence and
all the movies that have been bombing, he needs something. He needs something.
So let's go to the well. Right now, I don't really think that he's in a position to get a hit after freaking Alice in Wonderland bombed so bad, the second one. Mm-hmm. After that bombed so bad last year, he's really clinging on. The domestic abuse and all that crap, the allegations and all that with Amber Heard does not help.
No, it doesn't. But I think it's been enough time since then that people have kind of forgotten. I mean, so many things have gone on in Hollywood since then that people have kind of let that go. I don't think it's a Tom Cruise thing where they got to wait years before they can start putting another movie out from him. I mean, I think enough time's gone by that. I mean, and it's unfounded really at this point. Nobody's actually come out. I mean, it's not been proven that he did it. It's just what's going on in a divorce.
Well, right now it's scheduled to be released in 4,000 theaters. The reviews are bad. No more pirates.
No more pirates.
34% Rotten Tomatoes.
That's better than Baywatch.
Better than where they're going. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on whether or not Johnny Depp can pull it off. There's some more news regarding Johnny Depp that we'll get into in a minute.
Right.
But as of right now, Jack Sparrow, I think this is it.
I hope so.
Unless they're going to get freaking Michael Bolton to do the Jack Sparrow song that he did in freaking Saturday Night Live when he was coming out. Anyway, all right. Casting news. All
right,
we had some pretty good casting news last week with Tyrese and Zach as Ted Bundy and so forth, right?
I hope you got one that I've been thinking about. I know.
So this week, actually last week, we got news that Tom Hardy is gonna play Venom.
Yes.
Now he did an amazing job as Bane. Mm-hmm. Granted, the freaking voice was kind of but
I like his Bane voice.
But either way. It was still. But either way, his performance was really good anyway.
By the way, you can't give Art crap anymore now with that impersonation. You can no longer give Art anything.
So tell me about. So what do you think about this casting as far as Venom is concerned, and how it's going to affect this new Marvel universe that Sony wants to bring out, this R-rated Marvel universe?
Okay.
What do you?
Well, I had a couple of different thoughts. Like, I had so much emotion when this came up, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's a great choice." Even though I wanted to see Tom Hardy as Wolverine, but I mean, it's a great choice. It has Eddie Brock. I was like, Eddie Brock was a stocky guy and stuff like that. He was an older guy, and I mean, great. Tom Hardy's a great actor. Great. He'll be great for Venom. He can play the kind of somber guy. He can show that he's depressed, and then you can see him as a ruthless villain. I get it. Totally on board with that. Then I started to think, it's not going to be in the MCU. There are little ties to Spider-Man, if at all. So I was thinking, I was like, this movie's gonna suck. This movie's gonna suck because Venom needs Spider-Man. Venom's whole character is based on Spider-Man. You can't do any of Venom's special moves without explaining why they're Spider-Man's moves. Like can't shoot webs, can't wear the bug-eye thing. The costume is basically Spider-Man's. I mean, well, it is Spider-Man, technically. So I was like, this movie's gonna suck. But what if they do one of those rush jobs where they explain at the end of because it's gonna come out before the second Spider-Man, right? So at the end of
it's supposed to come out after Homecoming.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's gonna come out after that. I think this movie's.
But the way
they just cast him. This movie's getting pushed back.
But the way they have Tom Holland, they're doing obviously they're doing Homecoming and then Infinity War and then either Avengers 4, which is probably because they're doing it back to back, or it's gonna go jump into Spider-Man 2, then Avengers 4. So if they kind of like around that little gap, well, could Tom Holland make an appearance? Who knows?
Sony's not even worried about that. Sony's worried about their own franchise and their own
continuity.
I mean, it's not going to be in a continuity at all. This is their own thing. This is with the Sable movie and the Black Cat movie and the Aunt May movie. And this is all their own little Spider-Verse thing that they're doing themselves outside of the MCU. So I started thinking I could see them jam-packing something at the end of Homecoming as a teaser for something else.
Like a post-credit?
Like a post-credit. Like maybe you see like the symbiote fall from the sky or something like that.
Life.
Huh? Yeah, it was life.
It was life.
That's when they finally do the tie, so that way they didn't explain it. Or they're really just not going to tie to Spider-Man and then come up with some dumbass reason why he has all of Spider-Man's abilities. But I'm waiting to see what happens when they get to the first trailer, see how it goes. I'm happy Tom Hardy's cast as him. I'm just going to be happy and I'm going to deal with that as opposed to me being fanboy and talking about how this movie's going to suck.
Well, Tom Holland right now is currently getting ready for the opening of Spider-Man Homecoming, but Sony decided that this guy has done such a great job with Spider-Man, they decided to give him Uncharted. 2 franchises now. So he's got Spider-Man, now he's got Uncharted. Supposedly this new Uncharted movie will actually be based on Uncharted 3 that showcases Nathan Drake when he was actually young. So Tom Holland will play that part. How do you feel about that casting? Do we still want Nathan Fillion as the older
Well, I had
Drake?
I had a lot of other... By the way, when all these castings came up, my emotions were all over the place. All right, so Tom Holland, too young to be Nathan Drake. Too old to be the Nathan Drake from the video game. He was like 14 in the video game. I mean, so and Tom Holland's like 20. Well, they're gonna. But
he's 17 in real life, I think.
No, he's 20.
Alrighty then.
He's 20.
My source says
he's a grown man. He's 20. That's the reason why they picked him, because that way he could work the full schedule when they were doing the shooting, because anything under 18, they have to work a part-time schedule. So that's the reason why they got somebody over 18. He's actually 20 because it's been a while since Civil War. But anyway, I got over the whole thing that the timeline's not matching up as far as the age and but I feel that they like him too much and we don't know who casts as Nathan Drake. I bet you the majority of this movie ends up being Tom Holland. I bet you we see young Nathan Drake for like 2/3 of this movie, and then we get old Nathan Drake for the last third of this movie.
So Raiders of the Lost Ark never happened, and it was River Phoenix the whole time.
God, I wish we could have had River Phoenix right.
And River Phoenix is Indiana Jones the entire time. Basically, is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. And I bet you by the time if it does well, they do an Uncharted 2. I bet you it's Tom Holland. He becomes Nathan Drake in Uncharted 2. I bet you. I know what they're doing with this. But what made me think too with this whole Tom Holland thing is that we were talking about, hey, it's the second franchise. And we were talking about how Chris Pratt, to become a superstar, needed another franchise. Wouldn't it have been great if they could have got Chris Pratt to be Nathan Drake?
No. That would have been 3. He's in the middle of Lost World. Or
we were talking about making
World.
him a superstar, and he needed another franchise of his own if he could have got the Uncharted franchise.
Well, I don't know. I think that given
I want Chris Pratt as my Nathan Drake. Nathan Fillion, I'm sorry, and I know everybody's on you about
because he's Nathan Drake. His whole personality is basically based on him.
What's the guy who actually does the voice?
I have no idea.
I forget his name. He should be Nathan Drake because everything is actually based on him.
Oh, okay. So that means that the next Batman is Kevin Conroy.
Yes, Kevin Conroy should be Batman.
All right.
They just CGI all the muscles and stuff.
So before or after, I should say, he bombs this Memorial Day weekend, Johnny Depp is going to try his hands in horror, which is no stranger because, of course, his film debut was Nightmare on Elm Street. Universal is really pushing this dark universe. And for those of you that don't know, previous episode we were actually talking about them expanding on the classic monster movies such as Dracula and Frankenstein and Creature from the Black Lagoon, Invisible Man, and so forth. Well, they've tapped Johnny Depp to play the Invisible Man. Okay. And right now, he's like I said, getting ready to do Pirates. I think this would actually help him a little bit because you can't see him, and he looks like hell. So it's actually not that bad. Javier Bardem, who is also his co-star in Pirates of the Caribbean 5, is tapped to play the Frankenstein monster. Or I should say Frankenstein, not Frankenstein. But anyway, so he's tapped to play Frankenstein, the Frankenstein monster.
That's a young Frankenstein.
That's a young Frankenstein. All right.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think they should get Johnny Depp. I mean,
it's already done.
No. You're gonna hear recasting because when Pirates bombs. Because it will. Because when Pirate bombs, they're gonna be like, we can't give him this franchise.
You know what? This is why I think that whole freaking hostage thing with the pirates, and then that they're gonna release it. I think it's a freaking ploy from freaking Disney because they know it's gonna suck. Hey, release it 20 minutes, but don't release the last few because then they'll want to watch the movie.
But But Disney don't own Netflix.
No, I know, but I'm just saying because that's what they're saying. They're gonna release 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there.
No, that's how they were threatening them. It was like, hey, I'm gonna keep releasing parts of your movie.
Exactly.
But I don't think that's because Disney just put this straight to video. Come on, and do like you did with Lion King 1.5. Come on, let's straight to video with this. Let's get this over with. I don't want to see this movie. Nobody wants to see this movie. Yeah. Disney, don't take a
This is the return of Jafar.
This is the return of Jafar.
All over again. Okay, so a bomb after bomb so far Johnny Depp has not delivered, okay? Is this good casting for The Invisible Man?
No. Only because it's going to fail. Now, he may do a great job. Look, Johnny Depp likes doing interesting, awkwardly weird, quirky characters. He may make this weird, quirky, because like what he did with the Mad Hatter, like he did with Edward Scissorhands, he likes playing weird characters. And The Invisible Man, even though I think The Invisible Man needs to be can't think of his name right now because I'm bad with names. Independence Day. Goldblum. Smart scientist, comes up. It's my love for Fly. I just want to see the Fly again. But it needs somebody like that carries that persona.
That should be part of the universe, by the way, because the Fly was
The Fly and the Invisible Man.
No, but the Fly was an old school horror movie. Oh. Not Goldblum. I'm talking about like the 50th Vincent Price.
Be part of the horror universe.
That should have been part of it. But
but it wasn't one of those MGM.
Right there.
But no, it's like I think that it should be somebody who carries that real intellectual. Not to say that Johnny Depp's stupid or anything like that, but he's a weird, quirky character type person, and all we're gonna get is a.
But aren't scientists mainly that way too?
I don't want to see the Mad Hatter mixed with Jack Sparrow mixed with.
What about his role in The Secret Window?
What about his role in Transcendence?
Hey, so anyway,
that's the time you got to play somebody smart.
How about Javier Bardem? You like that one?
As the
as Frankenstein.
Because you know why? Because I'm thinking of what is the was it No Country for Old Men?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking about him. Yeah, I'm thinking about his character in there, and actually I think that would be pretty good.
Yeah,
I would like to see how to do the makeup on it. That's going to be interesting.
If you really think about it, Alfred Molina, nobody saw that. Nobody saw him as Dr. Octopus. But the way he did it in Spider-Man 2, the way he acted in that, he was great.
He was great. I love him as Doc Ock.
And he has a similar, Javier Bardem has a similar look a little bit like Alfred Molina. So I think he could pull it off, honestly. I really do. I was going to throw a Mexican joke in there, but forget it. All right.
He's Mexican.
So right now, Sofia Boutella is the Mummy. Russell Crowe is Jekyll and Hyde. I like that.
Really?
Yeah, and then of course, now you have these two.
They're gonna beef him up as Mr. Hyde, or is he like gonna just be like Mr. Hyde, and they're gonna have to cast like some?
No, I think that they would, do the makeup. Lon Chaney had all the freaking makeup and all that.
I'm thinking about League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And basically, if you really think about it, this dark universe is League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. That's the Avengers.
Look, learn from Sean Connery. That sucked.
Yeah. Now, Javier Bardem might come out in a cameo, possibly post-credit scene, or Johnny Depp might come out in post-credit scene of The Mummy. Don't be surprised.
Because they're nowadating this stuff.
Yeah, but you know what?
How are they going to do the Frankenstein monster?
Well, you were talking about the Dracula movie with Luke Evans. You were talking about that actually being the beginning. It is not. The Mummy will be the very first one-eyed universe.
Well, let's see. Did they have? Where's the recast for Dracula?
They have not casted that.
Because they're including it.
But they haven't casted. There's a lot. They haven't casted the Luke Evans for the Black Lagoon yet.
Luke Evans is your Dracula, by the way. So okay. So if that's the case, then it totally stays on my point then is that because at least Dracula was a period piece, and then they got to the end where they fast forwarded to nowadays because Dracula's eternal. What are you gonna do for Frankenstein? What are you gonna say? It's like, I'm a scientist, I'm thinking about reanimating corpses? How illegal is that? And then it's like, I'm such a bad scientist that I ain't got no electricity. And it's like, I'm just gonna wait till a rainstorm comes, and then, oh crap. No, wait. Lightning struck my house and woke up my corpse that I had sitting on the thing. It can't be now, it has to be a period piece. And then how are you gonna fast forward Frankenstein all the way to now? Frankenstein's monster, because Frankenstein's monster, because he's not really Frankenstein. Frankenstein was the scientist. He was just the monster.
He was a Frankenstein. Johnny Depp was, he did a cameo in Fantastic Beasts, which caught everybody off guard. So there's a possibility that he's
that did catch me off guard.
There's a possibility that he's going to be in a cameo, whether it's on The Mummy or another title. but there's a possibility he might play the character in a cameo. So we'll see how that goes.
Make Johnny Depp the money.
Alrighty, that's hilarious. All right, sad news. There's actually two sad news. Yeah, actually, one is we want to send shout outs to freaking Roger Moore, man. The freaking James Bond, Octopussy, my favorite freaking James Bond movie of his.
That's your favorite one?
That's my favorite one. Every freaking day I got home from school, guess what was on? Octopussy.
Well, why?
I don't know, but it was on HBO. It was on HBO all the time. And Louis Jordan, Louis Jordan, who played the freaking bad guy in Swamp Thing. Oh. I was a big Louis Jordan fan back in the day because of Swamp Thing. And when he was the bad guy in Octopussy, I needed to see some Louis Jordan, baby.
I'm just saying is that it was on Scroll, because back in when they used to do the Scroll for cable. Yeah, it was like, look, pussy's on TV. I gotta see this.
And because it ain't just one pussy. It's octopus.
There's eight.
That's multiplication. Anyway, so shout outs to Roger Moore, we love you. In other somber news, Zack Snyder leaving Justice League.
Yeah, that is horrible.
It's horrible. He tried to consume himself with the work back in March when his daughter Autumn unfortunately committed suicide, unfortunately. And he tried to consume himself with work. He finished the movie, but he can no longer handle it. He has to take care of family. Right. So perfect hands. He gives it to Joss Whedon. Now Joss Whedon just came aboard DC to get started on the Batgirl movie.
Right.
So what better movie coming off of Avengers and Ultron and all that stuff? What better freaking person to take over Justice League for the reshoots and everything else than Joss Whedon? What do you think about that move?
Actually, when I first heard it, I was like, okay, well at least they're giving it to Joss Whedon. And then I started thinking about it. Didn't he say he was burnt out with the MCU, and he was like, all this stuff that we have to do, remaining in the continuity, and I felt like so shackled in on what I gotta do, and they gotta squeeze in this, squeeze in that, and I couldn't just do what I wanted to do. And when he came out with Avengers 2, with the Age of Ultron, he left, he says, I'm leaving the MCU, gonna do something small, got Batgirl. Then they throw you right into Justice League. You're basically getting the same thing with a company with less guidance. They know less than Marvel does.
But at the same time, you gotta, he had Ultron from jump. Yeah. He had Avengers from jump. Mm-hmm. This is a completed project that's done. All he's gotta do is reshoots. Now, Warner Brothers asked Snyder whether or not he'd like the date to be pushed back from November of this year to next year, and he declined. So he's given it to him, to Whedon. Whedon has pretty much stated that it is going to stay as Snyder's vision, and he's not going to alter it too much, really.
I thought this thing has already been reshot like 7 times.
The reshoots have not begun. Some of the reshoots are going on probably either right now or in coming weeks.
Was that Wonder Woman that got reshot? It was Wonder Woman that got reshot.
Yeah. Okay. So to your point, yes, you're right. To go from big ensemble to another big ensemble, that's
especially when he said that was a determining factor why he left the MCU, because he was burnt out on doing that. Aren't you just going to burn you out again with DC?
But the fact that it's already a completed project and he only has to deal with reshoots and stuff. That's a
the execs come in there.
And Suicide Squad.
Josh,
let's talk about this.
We got some notes here, guy. We need you to squeeze some stuff in here. You're still doing your reshoots, right? Yeah, you're still doing this.
How will this affect the final cut, or do you think it will make any effect? Now, because when you look at the amount of reshoots and the amount of interference that the studio had with David Ayers and Suicide Squad, you can see the shifts in tone so much, and it's like really in your face with Suicide Squad. How will this happen? How will it be?
Two things that can happen. It can go Suicide Squad bad, or it can go Ant-Man good. That movie was handed over basically just before it was shot. I mean, they worked on scripts and screenplays and all this other stuff, and it worked up a whole complete idea. And then he steps away, and then they were like, "Hey, just shoot this," because the movie's already set. All you got to do is just shoot it, type deal, and that worked out really well. Now, Suicide Squad didn't work out well, and that's because people re-edited the film.
Well, financially it did. It did financially, but not in content yet.
And this might go that route. It's having two visions re-editing. It's like, how can you say I'm not going to change his vision when you don't have his vision and you weren't there in the production meetings and how they actually intended to set this thing up. You have a bunch of raw video and stuff like that and probably notes of what he was doing, but you're still gonna have in your head, it was like, I think this should go here. I think it will work better this way. It's not his vision, it's your vision when you're re-editing something.
Well, they have what they call dailies, for those that don't know. They're kind of like logs that pretty much showcase how the day went and so forth. So I'm pretty sure that they have the dailies for him to use as a resource.
The whole...
But Affleck's got a big say too. I think Affleck's gonna help him out some. I think having Ben Affleck, especially as a freaking Oscar-winning producer, that's gonna help him. I think that's gonna help him.
I hope so. The one thing I do hope from it is that if he is ready to take on such an undertaking again, is that now that Zack Snyder won't have the reins for this universe anymore, give it to him.
How would you do that credit? Directed by Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon?
You'd have to.
Yeah,
you'd have to.
Special thanks.
Co-directed.
All right.
Did final editing.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is in the news.
I was hoping you would get into this.
All right, so there's two things. Arnold Schwarzenegger was at Cannes and said that King Conan is still happening.
He said it's still happening, but it ain't happening yet. He been talking about this movie forever. That's the only I didn't want to see. What was the horror movie he did?
He did a horror movie?
The zombie one.
He did a zombie movie? Maggie? I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to see him in Expendables 3. Didn't want to see him in Expendables 2. I didn't want to see The Last Stand.
I didn't want to see The Last Stand. I've been waiting for King Conan. Dude, in a minute, it's going to be...
I didn't want to see Genesis.
It's going to be...
That movie sucked.
It's going to be geriatric Conan in a minute. And that's what I don't want to see. I want to see where you still can put him in a fight scene. And right now, I'm not sure that can even happen.
Well, right now, it's... I'm sorry. That was funny.
Are we going to do King Conan and we're going to bring in Roman Reigns?
No, we're going to bring in Jason Momoa. They tried to actually
AKA Roman Reigns.
They tried to reboot this, and Aquaman star and Justice League star Jason Momoa took his shot at the role of Conan. The poster was better than the movie.
Yeah, that movie was tough.
And to be honest with you, that's probably why I give Momoa such a hard time. I've heard the guy is really, I've actually spoken to actors that actually work with him and said he's a freaking sweetheart.
Oh yeah, he seems like a great guy.
And he seems like a great guy, but I hated him for Conan, so it kind of left a freaking salty taste in my mouth. That didn't sound right, but anyway, so they've attempted to reboot this character, and of course it didn't work. So Schwarzenegger is really all into actually bringing the character back as an older Conan, much like the way Clint Eastwood came back for The Unforgiven, and Hugh Jackman as Logan.
Right.
So giving that old man Logan vibe. What do you think?
I mean, we've all look.
Rated R, of course.
The first two movies teased him on the throne with his own.
Exactly.
He got his own throne he became a king by his own hand. That's what we've been waiting for since Conan the Destroyer. Like, when you gonna give me my Conan 3 where he's actually king? That's all we've been waiting for. And I think that the following for Conan is big enough that when they do that movie, it will do well. Hopefully, if it's done well. I mean, if they have a really good idea to do it besides saying, he's king. But focus on that. Not on what he wants to focus on.
Well, the script was actually had to be rewritten because the way the script was going, it was going to have a really huge budget.
Wait. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
That's right. So it was being rewritten because it was calling for a really big budget, and because the character of Conan with him was really 83, maybe 85,
right.
And all of that time passing, the studios kind of felt like the character was not going to really resonate with the crowd now. So they saw the budget was too much, and they want to rewrite it. Do you think that? That the studio's making the right move? I think it's the right move because you really don't know. It's a toss-up on that type of.
I mean, as far
look at King Arthur. I mean,
lowering the budget. I mean, what did they do? The first Conan with $50 and a fucking pack of bubblegum. I mean, there's no special effects in it. The crappy special effects that went around when the demons were trying to take him away when he was dying. That was it. That's all the special effects. When they cut off Thulsa Doom's head, it was a freaking mannequin head that rolled down the steps. Come on, there was no special effects. Do this for inflation. Do this for like $250. About $350. About $350, and let's get this done.
Now, Arnold is currently in talks with Netflix on projects. Could this be a Conan series?
I don't want to see a series. I want to see King Conan, and that's it.
Okay.
That's all I want to see. I don't want to see another series because then you have to recast again, and we're gonna get another Momoa issue, and where people aren't gonna accept him as Conan, and they're gonna try to be way too different with what they're doing because whoever directs is gonna want to have their own vision. And when it's a series, then you have to stretch things out, and it was like, oh, it's gonna be a week villain, and it was just like, then you're gonna have to reduce like 20 different characters.
Is he still looking for Valeria?
Yeah, exactly. And,
Get over it. It's 30 years ago. when
are you gonna do the Red Sonja crossover? And just like, I thought you were going somewhere else with Arnold.
Well, I'm not done.
Oh, okay.
In other Arnold news, Arnold has also is willing to star in another Terminator.
He is willing, and I thought this franchise was dead.
The rights go back to James Cameron in 2019 to where he could actually direct it. Now, right now, his hands are full with these Avatar sequels that he's doing, but he is willing to produce the next Terminator.
Which means that he ain't gonna do nothing. His name is gonna go in there, he's gonna get a check. That's exactly what he's been doing since Terminator 2. He's produced all of these films, by the way. His name is on all of them. And we look at James Cameron, we're like, hey, look, he did the first 2. He's not responsible for 3, 4, 5.
He only did 1.
He didn't do 2?
Oh, you're right. He did 2.
Exactly. I was about to say.
He did 1 and 2.
He did the first 2. He's not responsible for him because there was somebody else directed those films. He was producer on all those films.
Do you realize that Cameron's responsible for 2 of the best part 2s in cinema history?
Yeah. Yes.
Aliens and Terminator 2, one of the best freaking part 2s.
Wait till we get to his Wait till we get to part 6 though.
Of Terminator?
Yes.
Well, if he ever gets to freaking part 3 or whatever the hell he's doing. Regardless, he's on board Terminator. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's just say he actually
Edit this, please.
Let's just say he actually has something to do with this film. Are they going to scrub the other ones and say that this is 3?
I would probably scrub Rise of the Machines and Genesis and all that other crap
and Salvation
and Salvation. And given the fact that they have that time travel was a really heavy thing that they have with these movies, it's really easy to do that.
Yeah.
So,
but it's like, how can you can't bring him back because he's. If you bring him back, then you have to bring him back young. You can't bring him back old.
No, you could bring him back old, similar to the way they did
in Genesis?
Lance Henriksen in AVP when he was the pretty much the template for.
Oh, he's a template. So somebody was like,
Gerald,
that guy's got a good body type. We're gonna make him young.
Exactly.
Hey, we're gonna make him young. They already did that with Sam Worthington.
Oh, that was awful.
They did that with Sam Worthington already.
And he was an Avatar. There's a Cameron. There's the freaking James Cameron connection.
Exactly. They already did that with Sam Worthington making a prototype. So, I mean, we're going to repeat Salvation?
You know what? Salvation, in all honesty, is part of the war.
They're going to get the guy. So, they're going to get the guy.
Give me Christian Bale back. Give me Christian Bale back for a do-over.
No, wait. They're going to get the guy that he was based on. And so basically just going to get this old man who ain't got nothing, no skills.
And he's a template.
You're gonna go fight your Terminator. We made you young, and we made these robots that look like you when you were young. I know you don't know how to fight or anything like that, but you're gonna fight these machines. Why?
Alrighty
He's
then.
not indestructible. He's gonna die. You're gonna kill an old man on screen.
Oh man.
Thank you, James Cameron.
James Cameron. All right. In other news. Now, you want to talk about 1986. 1986 was one of the best freaking years in movies. Aliens with Cameron's one of them, and one of the biggest blockbusters of that year was a $358 million Top Gun.
All right.
And Tom Cruise has just come out and said that is straight up in active development for Top Gun 2, and he will come back as Maverick.
He's lying, just like Arnold Schwarzenegger is about King Conan. This movie ain't happening.
He's legitimately said
too, as long as Arnold's been talking about King Conan.
He's gonna come back as Maverick.
I didn't want to see the Mummy. I wanted to see Top Gun 2.
Well, that's really Maverick.
CGI goose. That's what needs some CGI.
Has too much time passed. This movie came out in '86. This is 21 years, more or less.
Too much time has passed, and the fact that we don't dogfight anymore.
True, but he's supposed to be the instructor this time. He's the
and I know that's the premise of the original one, is that people got too used to shooting missiles and stuff like that, not actually engaging in dogfights. That's the premise of the original film, is that we got used to shooting missiles all the time and not actually engaging in the dogfights. Well, there is no superpowers anymore for us to actually dogfight everybody we shoot and kill is like on the ground. We're fucked up as a country, by the way. Everybody, it's like nobody fights us anymore. There's not a legitimate force that we get, unless we're gonna say like the Chinese, or we're gonna say like freaking the North Koreans. They ain't got planes. They still trying to get together one bomb.
Okay, well, having said that, what will it take for this project to actually work, not be a disaster like ID4 2, Dumb and Dumber 2? What would it take?
Goose getting CGI and
give me Kilmer back. Get Kilmer on the treadmill.
I take it back. Put it was Iceman, CGI Iceman, because he needs it.
Slim him down, please. Can you buy him one of those freaking slim shirts?
No, I mean Tom Cruise can't fly. They can. He has to do a new cast, and he has to be a mentor. He has to.
He's the instructor.
Yeah, I know he's the instructor, but he has to. It can't be about him, and it has to have some like really up and coming stars to where they have a little known. They're a little bit known but not fully known, to where like they're distracting, like, oh, they just cast such and such in this play.
Chris Pratt.
No, Chris Pratt can't be in this movie. Chris Pratt is going to be Nathan Drake. Yeah, so they just have to have like up and comers come in, and Tom Cruise has to help them do better. And he can't overtake the movie, because then we're gonna see, give me Top Gun 3 and bring back Tom Cruise.
But his name and his presence is a big selling point for
I don't want him to be the full focus of it. I don't want to see old Tom Cruise in everything.
Okay, does Kelly McGillis come back? Because she looks like hell right now. CGI, and I love you, girl, but goddamn.
CGI her too.
The 80s were good to you.
Get with Disney, because they have the CGI look, they have the technology.
Oh, man.
They can rebuild you.
Well, one part two that's actually gonna hopefully make you feel better, since you're like you completely shot down Top Gun 2, no pun intended.
I'm just saying it's not coming back.
Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money.
That ain't coming back either.
Mel Brooks confirms.
He's been talking about this for as long as they've been talking about King Conan. He's like, I take it back. He's been talking about this for as long as they've been talking about Ghostbusters 3.
Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money. Mel Brooks has confirmed in a special screening, I think it was a charity event for Young Frankenstein, and he was doing a Q&A, and somebody actually asked him about Spaceballs 2, and he has said that he has spoken with them, GM I believe it is, and see what the deal is. There were fake Spaceball 2 posters right around the time that Force Awakens came out.
Yeah, I remember when they were posted. Yeah,
that were posted all over the subways in New York City, and people thought that it was legit, and they freaking, on top of that, they really bought into the fact that Spaceballs 2 was going to happen, Force Awakens style. Mm-hmm. They had it was a burnt up Lord helmet on there, and it was similar to Darth Vader's helmet in Force Awakens. So a lot of people, like I said, bought into it. I think that would be very difficult to do. Now,
Mel Brooks writing the comedy, it would be very difficult.
Joan Rivers has passed away.
Yeah, can't do that.
John Candy has passed away.
Can't do that.
And Rick Moranis is retired.
He said he would come out for a good script.
The only way I see this working, well, first of all, let me ask you this. Should this be a sequel?
It would have to be.
Should this be Force Awakens sequel type, or should it be prequel?
No, we're
parody the prequel trilogy.
We're past the prequels. He'd have to do Force Awakens.
Parody Force Awakens then.
If he was gonna do it, he should have done it around the time that the prequel.
I agree 100% with you.
After the Sith one, he should have done it then. And he didn't get it done then. That time, look, we've already made fun of the prequels. You can't like freaking pull the Band-Aid off and like, let me keep jabbing at your old wounds with the prequels. Can't do that. It has to be based on the Force Awakens and the Star Trek reboots.
I think you're right. I think Force Awakens is the bigger movie. Mm-hmm. It's number 3 movie of all time.
And you got a whole Star Trek franchise, because hey, you know what? They were taking a lot of jabs at Star Wars, but they were really making fun of all the sci-fi films. Yeah. So I mean, they were making fun of Battlestar.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
They took shots at them. So like, we got new Alien films, we got new Star Trek films, we got new Star Wars films. They stayed within this time frame, and it's like we do. Oh, I mean, Rick Moranis is old. I mean,
I would love to have him back though. There is no Spaceballs without Rick Moranis. That's an underrated freaking comedic actor. He deserves a freaking another shot. And
Rick Moranis comes back as a Force Ghost.
He never died though. He never died.
That's the funny joke about it. That's the joke about it, is that he's not dead.
And he's still a force ghost. That's funny.
Exactly. I should write this movie.
Yes, you should. Right now is a great time for Spaceballs 2 actually come out with the success of Force Awakens, the success of Rogue One, and the highly anticipated freaking Last Jedi. It is absolutely a great time to do that. I think he should really jump on that.
I would
freaking definitely pay to watch.
I would hope it just Mel Brooks can't write the script to this, unfortunately, because I think his comedy was of that era. I don't think. Look, Dracula Dead and Loving It told me that he wasn't funny anymore.
Robin Hood Men in Tights told me he wasn't funny.
Oh, I love Robin Hood Men. You shut your mouth.
I did not.
I love that movie. I love that movie.
Except Chappelle.
Oh my God, I can see. Awesome. Wait, no, I can't. That was funny. It was gold, man. Comedy gold. But Dracula Dead and Loving It was not good at all, and that told me he's done.
So, Spaceballs.
Yes.
I can't wait. I hope it happens. But it made me start thinking about the other parody movies that are out there, and there are so many. I'm a big freaking comedy fan. That's like my favorite genre of all of them, next to horror, but comedy's my favorite.
Okay.
So now it's time for our top 5. And we're back! Oh, Flash!
No substance.
So today's top 5 are the top 5 movie parodies. Movie parodies have been freaking around like for a while now, and they just get funnier and stupider, and they make no sense, and Deadpool falls down. But it doesn't matter.
He's a parody himself.
He's a parody himself, exactly. So Terrence, go first.
All right. Actually, I thought this topic was a little hard. It was like, because I actually forgot that there was a bunch of movie parodies.
Yeah, and they're freaking hilarious. Some of them.
There's a lot of bad ones.
There's a lot of date movie epic, horrible.
God. All right, so anyway, we're going to start with my top 5.
Number 5,
and I switched this one because I was actually going to go with something else, but I'm going with this one instead. Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. I almost forgot about this movie. It was a parody. It was a parody of Boys in the Hood.
Of all the hood movies.
Of Menace to Society. And I was like, wow, that is such a great movie. That, I mean, without the parody, it was such a funny movie.
And you know what's funny is that when you watch Don't Be a Menace as many times as we have in our 20s, you can't watch the other movies without joking.
Yeah, you think about it. Like,
and those are serious movies with messages, and you can't help but
message.
Number 4.
Team America.
America.
It was a parody of the Thunderbirds Are Go. And I mean, a weird parody because it just made you totally think different about a TV show for kids.
And the whole marionettes and the sexual scenes are just hilarious.
Awkward.
And very awkward. You didn't know you could do that with strings.
Wow, there's a lot of things you can do with strings.
A lot of things, yeah, exactly. You taught me some things.
I mean, but just the theme song that they played, and it was funny because they did such a great job with the theme song, and they played it in every aspect of the movie, fast, slow, to explosion.
Oh man!
And now it's basically the theme song for America for Real.
Matt and Trey created South Park.
There you go. Number 3. Austin Powers.
For those spy movies.
Yeah.
It was a parody.
It was a parody of James Bond. It was a parody for all spy movies that came out. So when I looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, it definitely is a parody.
Which one was your favorite out of the 3 though?
I would probably say...
I'd say Shag Me, Part 2.
The spy, yeah, well...
With Heather Graham, yeah. That'd be my favorite one, actually.
Yeah, I'd probably have to go there because it's a toss-up between 1 and 2. It wasn't Goldmember.
No, it was not Goldmember.
It's a toss-up between 2. I would probably say only 2 because of the Tom Cruise beginning opening scene.
Oh, yeah. Austin Pussy, that's hilarious. I just said that was my favorite movie.
I love that movie.
All right.
I love that movie. Number 2. Scream.
Scream?
Scream's technically a parody.
Scream.
It's technically a parody.
As far as a parody of all of the other horror movies. There's nothing funny about Scream.
It didn't have to be funny. It was making fun of all horror movies in the sense that like they were talking about the tropes from horror movies, that you had to be a virgin, that you would survive, and that
don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs. That would kill you. That made it a parody. I mean, Scream did have comedy, even though that I feel differently about Jamie Kennedy now.
You see all the flies on you? They see the bullshit. You can't fool them flies.
No, it's like Jamie Kennedy brought comedy to it, and his comedy was based on the fact that my phone keeps ringing. His comedy was based on the fact that
hey, you worked at Blockbuster.
That he worked at Blockbuster, and the fact that horror movies always had the same rules. So it's parody.
Okay. Number one.
This is not a hard one. Spaceballs.
Spaceballs is your number one parody.
Spaceballs is my number one parody. Spaceballs is my number one parody that I forget it's a parody sometimes. Just like I forgot that
Scream was a parody.
No, Scream is a parody. Just like I kind of forgot that Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood, even though it contained like every damn movie that it was making fun of in it. Spaceballs was basically just a sci-fi movie. If you just don't think about that, Rick Moranis was a copy, and that everybody was a copy of somebody from Star Wars. But I love that movie by itself, not even thinking about it that it's a parody. It's a great movie. We just talked about how the fact that it's supposed to be getting a sequel. Never.
And who dare give me the raspberry? Lone Star. All right. My number 5 was also Don't Be a Menace in the
I should have went with my
that movie.
I changed my list too.
That movie is so freaking funny. I remember when I first saw this movie and the grandma comes out like fucking dead presidents. I could not stop laughing. I laughed so hard. I almost pissed myself. It's so freaking funny. And it's no joke. We used to watch that movie so much during our 20s that it was like just nonstop that we quoted the movie left and right. And sometimes we still quote it to this day, 20 years later. Number 4, Hotshot Part 2, baby. Charlie Sheen. Freaking hilarious, way better than the first one. But god dang it, when he kicks him in the nuts and the walnuts come out of his mouth, that is just hilarious to me.
I'm not a big fan of the Hot Shots franchise.
Well, just part 2, just part 2. Just part 2. That was the funniest one. It's so hilarious. Yeah. So the helicopter comes down. It's like the camera shot is hitting the helicopter, and then somebody's feet just walk by because it's a miniature helicopter. Man, it's just so freaking stupid and funny. I love that movie. All right, number 3, Scary Movie. Scary Movie, Keenen Ivory Wayans. Now that was a parody of horror movies. That was absolutely one of the funniest freaking movies I've ever seen. And Anna Faris, it was a breakout role for her. It's what made her a star, I would say. What got her Chris Pratt, but whatever. That movie was freaking hilarious. Keenen Ivory Wayans, dude, just the best. He's just freaking hilarious.
Two movies on your list.
All right, number 2, The Naked Gun. The freaking Naked Gun.
The first one was the only good one.
Yeah, this is it. Part 1. Part 1, Naked Gun. Leslie Nielsen, the perfect Frank Drebin, just absolutely hilarious. You got O.J. Simpson, the worst athlete actor that I had in my top 5 last week.
Yeah, you love this movie.
But I love this movie. Just so many freaking funny things about it. When they're looking for
when he's talking about his ex-wife, and it was like there's everything around reminds me of her.
And there's 2 big boobs, and it's just freaking funny. I love that movie. Freaking George Kennedy, his partner, is just hilarious. I love that movie. Number 1, the one that started it all, freaking Airplane. All day, Robert Hayes, Julie Haggerty, freaking Leslie Nielsen. It's just absolutely the freaking Zucker brothers at their best. Absolutely funny movie. It was actually a parody of all of the Airport 77s, all these disaster movies, Towering Infernos, and all this other crap that was happening in the 70s. This movie was just freaking nonstop.
Hey, excuse me, I speak jive.
Sucker don't want the help. Sucker don't get the help. Jive turkey.
Barbara Billingsley, where are you not? Look,
I love you, Barbara.
They keep bringing back Betty White. Bring back Barbara.
She might be dead.
CGI her. CGI her.
Cushing that shit. Anyway, it's freaking just one of the best, man. I love that. I love the hell out of it.
I love that movie too. I'm surprised I didn't put it in my top 5 because I would have made my list different, and that's the reason why I didn't put it.
Well, then why don't we get to it? Honorable mention, sir.
Honorable mentions is definitely Airplane. I mean, God, I love that movie so much. I love that movie so much that I think the sequel, even though it was a repeat of the original movie,
it was just
on a space shuttle.
It was just as funny.
Those jokes still didn't get old, and even to see them redone again was even funny.
Dude, I freaking loved it when the chick is getting slapped and there's like this whole line of people slapping her. and then the other one where
God, you gotta get a hold of yourself.
They're calling you in the front.
I love that movie so much.
And then the freaking the chick that I don't know how much longer we're gonna be here.
Yeah.
Like I've never been with a man before. Like all this whole line.
Right.
Waiting to bang her. That's hilarious.
My other one was Robin Hood Men in Tights, because I know you
Never seen it?
never seen it. But it's
not like completely. No.
introduced us to Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
And I think that what's his name? That I can't remember.
Carrie Elwes?
Carrie Elwes. And he has there's a young kid that looks just like him. Probably his son. But I mean,
Larry Elwes.
Larry Elwes. All right, so that's when I couldn't take Carrie Elwes serious.
Not even in Saw.
In anything else he's ever done.
Not even in Saw.
All I can think of him is Robin Hood in that dumb movie. That's the only thing I could ever think of. And Dave Chappelle, when they were like, what are you gonna do? And it's like, I think I'll be sheriff. And they were like, a black sheriff? Worked in Blazing Saddles. I love Dave Chappelle. Anyway, so that's really it that I had for my. Oh wait, I said I did have honorable mentions. I actually have them over here. So my honorable mentions were History of the World.
Love that movie.
History of the World. I actually just recently saw that movie last year. At the end of last year, I just saw that movie.
That movie is so damn funny. I give you these 10 commandments.
And the other one that I had on there was sorry, I got to scroll back down here to it. MacGruber.
That movie was horrible.
I liked MacGruber.
That movie was horrible. But the freaking when the wrestlers and everybody, because Jericho and everybody gets in the thing and they're gonna beat him and then they freaking blow up.
Yeah, and it was like they all back in it.
But nothing beats The Rock in freaking Reno 911. God dang it! When he freaking like he's all gung ho and he gets in, he blows up. It's just so freaking funny. Was that it?
That's mine.
All right, mine up. Honorable mention, which you should actually be ashamed of your damn
Why
self.
did I didn't add it to my list?
I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker is one of the funniest blaxploitation parodies I have ever seen in my freaking life. If you have not seen that, watch it because it is so damn funny.
All right.
Keenan Ivory Wayans, rawness. That's where Scary Movie came out.
I'm sorry.
That's where Don't Be a Menace came out.
Hang on, sir. Wait. There's my black.
Yeah, I'm giving you your black card.
Because I completely forgot about it.
I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. Spaceballs, of course. Top Secret, Val Kilmer. God dang it.
I never saw that movie.
It was a parody of the freaking Elvis movies and the old war movies, and god dang it, if that movie was just not the funniest shit I have ever seen. It's just hilarious. I would have put it in my top 5, but Don't Be a Menace.
Never saw it. You never saw Top Gun. I never saw Top Secret.
Johnny Dangerously.
Never saw Johnny Dangerously.
You've never seen Johnny Dangerously?
No.
Michael Keaton. It was his 3rd movie after Mr. Mom. That movie was so damn funny.
I mean, if you want to do like This Is Spinal Tap, I mean, that was okay for a mockumentary.
Yeah, it's still, hey, whatever works, man. But god dang it, freaking Johnny Dangerously was hilarious to me. UHF.
What is that a parody of?
It's not. It's a parody of everything because freaking. It's a parody of television. It's a parody of freaking.
You're gonna make crap about Scream being a parody, and you're gonna go UHF.
UHF. Weird Al Yankovic, Michael Richards before the N-word controversy. hilarious movie. His freaking thing with. And you know what? If you've paid close attention to our show after this whole year and half that we've been on, our red ink is Mr. Jed Watanabe, Mr. Cooney. From freaking UHF. You're so stupid!
Yeah, oh yeah.
Spin the wheel of fish.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, spin the wheel of fish. That's where we got red ink.
We haven't done red ink.
We haven't run it. Yeah, you're right. You're slipping. Anyway, UHF is just absolutely freaking hilarious. And finally, it's just absolutely the stupidest movie. You've never seen it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, there's this movie called Night Patrol with Linda Blair.
Oh, yeah, I've never seen it.
Linda Blair, Pat Paulsen, Andrew Dice Clay, all these people that it's such a freaking stupid movie. It is so dumb, but when you watch it, it is so freaking hilarious, man. There were so many dumb jokes in that movie.
After Exorcist 2, I actually had a crush on Linda Blair. I was like, I thought she was so cute.
Dude, Linda Blair is cute.
Yeah.
And this is boob Linda Blair. Mm-hmm. They show boobs in this one. They show her boobs in this one.
Oh, I gotta watch Night Patrol.
Yeah. Scratch and sniff. It's awesome. Night Patrol, go check it out. It's freaking hilarious. Terrence, take us home.
All right, so this was a fun one. I mean, we got to talk about a lot of films because
this is a long one.
Yeah, it was definitely a long one, but we don't do too many comedy top 5s, or except my one that wasn't really a comedy.
Yeah, really. Can you comment on that?
I mean, it's a parody.
Chris.
It's a parody.
Chris, I'm talking to you, Chris.
It's a parody.
Scream does not count as a parody.
It's parody. UHF doesn't count as a parody.
UHF is making fun of TV and movies.
Scream is making fun of horror movies.
All right. Anyway,
Scary Movie was a parody based on a parody.
are we home yet?
Yeah.
You're supposed to take us home. What's going on?
Make sure you put your top 5 lists in the comments below. Let us know what your top 5 list at Scream is in the comments, and make sure you like so that way we know that you are okay with the ideas that we come up with these top 5s, because sometimes they're just kind of off the wall. And also make sure you subscribe, because we want to make sure that you are there to see all the new stuff that we get ready to come out with. We're going to get better with the schedule on things, and be able to get a lot of the stuff that we do out a little bit more frequently.
Oh, that's hilarious. Not to end on a somber note, but our thoughts and prayers are to the families at the at Manchester, with the tragedy that happened in Manchester at the Ariana Grande concert.
Yes.
So our thoughts and prayers are with you. For Aspen at home, who is not here with us tonight, but we love her anyway.
Ditch this again.
I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And that was a good. And Bud Light, or Budweiser. You know, beer makes you smart. Made Budweiser. All right. Stupid dad
I have
joke.
no idea why I've never heard that joke before.
Stupid dad joke.